stop solving. The deeper the group explored the underground chamber, the more it felt like stepping into the fractured mind of a man who had strayed far from the path of tradition. Dust danced in the lantern light as the men examined each corner of the room. Despite being hidden for a decade, the place felt preserved undisturbed by time. On the far wall, pinned with rusty nails, were hand-sketched blueprints unlike anything the Amish would ever allow in their homes. They showed diagrams of intricate gear systems, lever-driven machines, and pressure-based turbines, all carved with eerie precision. Some were labeled in English. Others were scrawled in cryptic symbols that no one could decipher. Beneath the diagrams sat workbenches littered with unfinished constructs, pieces of wooden machinery with strange, almost insect-like joints. One of the benches held something that looked like a crude puppet made of gears and leather straps, headless, with a hollow space in the chest. Another machine looked like it had been built to listen. It had a horn-shaped opening like a phonograph, and wires that fed into what appeared to be a primitive recording mechanism. The design was far beyond what Eli should have been capable of building, especially without electricity or modern tools. The men exchanged glances of unease. These weren't tools for farming. They were tools for something else. In the corner of the room, they found a wooden cradle. The sight of it stopped them cold. It was beautifully carved, with flower patterns along its edge, clearly the handiwork of Eli, who was known for crafting toys and furniture for his children. The cradle rocked gently, almost imperceptibly, though no one had touched it. One man stepped forward and shined his lantern inside. It was empty, but beneath the blanket lay something worse than a child's absence: a single baby's bonnet, torn and scorched at the edges. There was no dust on it. It looked freshly placed, almost as if someone had been there recently. Behind the cradle was a small trunk. Inside it were dozens of pages torn from Eli's journals, many too damaged to read. But the ones that remained painted a chilling picture. "It watches me when I work," one entry read. "It whispers when I'm alone in the barn. I gave it shape, and now it wants more." Another page had only a single sentence, repeated again and again, in shaking, desperate handwriting. "The machine sees the soul. The machine sees the soul." Some pages included scribbled sketches of an elongated figure with no face, sometimes drawn in the corner of the page as if Eli didn't want to look directly at it. None of the men spoke. The longer they stayed underground, the more the air felt charged, like the low thrum of a storm about to break. Sarah Yoder refused to descend any further. She waited above, praying beneath her breath, her fingers curled tightly around a small wooden cross. One of the younger men, out of sheer instinct, tried to wind one of the machines. The moment he did, a soft click echoed through the room, and something in the far wall shifted. Not visibly, but it moved.